You know you can afford a septim or two. Spare some gold for a veteran? Can you spare a septim? Lost an eye during the Great War, or I'd earn it myself. Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart. Always good talking to you, friend. Divines bless you. May the ground you walk quake as you pass.
What's your story, old man?
I was the finest scout in the Legion once. Tracked down all the places in the wilds that were causing people trouble. Lost my helmet in one of the old caves. My pretty, pretty helmet. Life just got worse after that. Kept losing things. So many things.
What if I could find that helmet for you?
Oh, you could? I sure would love to have it again. Could show you some of my old scouting tricks.
Okay. I'll try.
I do miss that helmet.
During our travels, maybe we'll find you. We find it for you.
A coin or two for a veteran? It's not much to ask.
I do not like fish.
Why not? There's something shiny. Maybe it's one stone. One of those stones up there. You see? Wherever we go, it's Tibella. Because she's protectress of heart and beauty. Curator's Guide. It doesn't feel right to take this without the curator's permission. Okay.
Bards, Fletchers, wine. I don't like this city.
Good day.
I found a Jade Warrior.
Oh, you have? Excellent. Yes, I have just the place for this. Thank you. Here's your reward.
And I found the 6th house bear hammer.
Ah, phenomenal. Let me have a look. Ah, yes. Exactly as described. Good work. Here's your pay.
And I found a ring of dense Dagmar.
Very good. And in excellent condition, it seems. Wonderful.
Well, that should be all the artifact you needed.
That is very impressive, my friend. You are certainly more than a mere treasure hunter. Which brings me to my next proposal. I'm in need of a full-time partner of sorts. A person of your caliber who can dedicate themselves to uncovering more lost artifacts and relics on their own, while I continue my research
There's no
efforts.
place like home.
And you have proven yourself more than capable of the job.
And I think a special arrangement could work. Instead of me simply buying the relics off of you, perhaps you could bring them here, lend them to the museum. I'll give you an occasional finder's fee, and we'll safeguard your collection for you. You'll be able to access any and all of your collection as you see fit, and you'll know the rest of it will be safe in your absence.
Well, sounds good to me.
Excellent. Well, let me give you the 10 Septem tour then.
Well, he gave me a key. What's going on now?
This building was once called Macnarian Hall and was built as a temple dedicated to Talos, the patron god of the Nords. After the White Gold Concordat, however, the statue was moved and the temple closed. I came here a few years ago and was able to procure use of the space in the pursuit of establishing this museum. Of course, I have had the building vastly expanded over the last 2 years to accommodate what I hope will become one of the grandest collections of Tamrielic history in the world. This grand atrium I call the Hall of Heroes. It is where a variety of historically significant relics can be displayed, and is quite a striking entrance to the museum, if I do say so myself. Off to the right is the reception hall and staff barracks, as well as the museum office where I do much of my work. To our left, you'll find the central hallway leading to all the other galleries of the museum, which also serves as the cultural arts exhibit. Here, I hope to display a variety of art as well as elements representing the more primitive cultures here in Skyrim, such as the Falmer, Forsworn, the Giants, and more. Down here on the lower level, you will find access to the East Exhibit Halls, which houses the Daedric Gallery, the Hall of Lost Empires, Hall of Oddities, and the Hall of Legends, which showcase a vast array of relics pertaining to the Daedra, Dwemer, Falmer, and ancient Nordic cultures, as well as a number of peculiar items that defy simple classification. At the close end of this hall, the stairwell will lead to the armories in the basement and up to the second floor. There you will find access to the Natural Science Gallery, as well as the Dragonborn Hall, where I will commission a variety of displays heralding any of your accomplishments. At the
Which
far end of the
accomplishment?
hallway on both floors, you'll find access to the Grand Library, and here on this floor, the door on the right also connects to the museum office. If you cannot find me in my office, you will almost certainly find me whiling away the hours in the library. Also, you should pick up a copy of the museum guide at the entrance of the museum. It will let you know the schedule of where I'm working should you need to find me, and it will offer you an easier way of navigating the museum, as well as keep track of how many displays our museum has. Of course, it may take me a moment to update those accounts, so check the guide again if you feel the numbers seem off. I'm sure I'll eventually account for everything. Any items you find for display, you can either manually place them yourself, or utilize the prep station in my office. And I'll ensure everything you have gets properly displayed if it has an appropriate place. I'm likely to have a variety of tasks for you, but in between, I'm sure you could help me find a random relic or two I've been researching. Feel free to look around and come find me if you have any questions. I'm very excited about the prospects of where we are headed.
Okay, we're working for a museum, guys. I don't know my accomplishment, what he's talking about, but it's interesting. It's a great place, full of books that we can't use. Oh, we can make some replica for the museum. I don't know why he's gonna use this for, but we made some replica. This station will automatically take any applicable display item from your inventory and put them on display. The process may take some time depending on how many items you have. Favorited or equipped item will not be sorted. Would you like to place all displayable item from your inventory? Settings. The settings below are currently applied to the auto sorter. Prefer replicas or restart replicas if it has one. Only replicas. Prefer replicas. Only replicas if the item has a replica only, that will be sorted. Protect quest item. A limited number of important relics will not sort automatically. Everything is home. Only replicas is not home. Protect quest item. Prefer replica. Okay, done. Well, I don't know yet how it's working, but you can take the item, yes, sort them.
It's good to have somewhere like this to come back to.
Well, it's not our home, it's a museum. So that's the library. Pretty impressive. Oh, that's where we can put our books. The Nightingale, volume 1 and 2. Oh, that's the book we have. Would you like to place items from this collection or remove them? I want to read them. Oh, did we already? Dwarfs, volume 1 and 3. Volume. Okay. I don't know, there is some books. Songs of Pelinan. We didn't read all of them. Oh, that's my books. He took my books. Brief History of the Empire. We didn't finish to read them. You can't have them now. Songs of the Return, volume 2, 7, 19, and 2456. You can keep this one because the time we get them all, it's gonna take some time. The Wolf Queen, remove. We'll give it to you when we have read the thing. It's not just having a collection. We want to read the thing. Mystery of Talara, same thing. We'll give it to you when we have the whole collection. Biography of Barencia, we have the rest of it somewhere else. Dwarves. Right. We're gonna have our books like that, man. What this is. Apachii creation meat.
It's a nice place you've got here.
It's
It would
not,
be a shame if it were to mysteriously burn down.
it's not my place.
No, it really would be a shame.
Legacy of Dwemer Paragon. I don't have the item I need. Okay. 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 Apparently this book is not mine. Saint Jude's Opus. I think we got it. No, I ain't gonna give away my books. Mercer's plans. Right. While sitting in this chair, all recorded books from the library can be added to your inventory. Use the card catalog on the lower level of the library to update this list. Once you have finished reading, this copy will be removed. Would you like to read some from the library collection? I think there's nothing in the library collection. Okay, there is some. This is my books. This is just my books. Broken Diamonds, we read that already. We didn't read Immortal Blood. The zzjay creation meat. And we had it to become it. There was a striking and the egg was split into 12 words. One for each serpent who had a name, and the names of the serpents were alive and coded into themselves and became more eggs, for names are self-matters, and the naming went and went. According to the calculations, the random sequence learned very cunningly that fragmentation reserved itself to the left eye. Variation realms were the evidence needed. There was the beating, which broke the 12 words and their name eggs, and the beaters shewed new names of the lesser serpents until soon death was known to the smallest, and your alphabets disappeared, but ours did not. The state of rest became worthy of blame. Whoever segmented saw it was wasted across the right eye. And in mercy we gave to you language that was dead yet working if you used it. Which you did through transient food form became problematic. There was the slithering, when scales were now named bits that moved freely, and dead language speakers bled out into non-talk, which is egg naming inverted, which slides into the shading of more dead, which cannot be redeemed in the anger quadrant. And now we could no more be detached, for the 12 to 1 only talked unsense except for us, who had to slithering during trumpet season, as the beaters poisoned the random sequence until we came and made of it music, as that is the only thing that might save the prey who wore all shapes of confusion not described yet in the calculations. Some of us discovered honor, 2 more found the idea of moderation, which turned it into the identical selection process, and we created our eating that way. There was the shedding, who inflated into a sphere of edible communications, and this is how the sequence began to find proportion again. The name eggs that had survived without also turning into calculation powder settled and became drunk waters, which was the first thing to finally encompass the risks attempted by the striking. Stomach signals wrote a complex document of conditions. This was the variation map called DAI. The reaching came where movements of DAI progressed across islands of edible communication and food forms could stockpile. One reaching unraveled, but the coiling at its belly made a virtual star line, which made eating lucid. We slid to the imago and named it cunningly. The waters obeyed, and dead names took up their place in the random sequence. The first serpents returned to us in transmissions that answered the alphabet virus, which we then consumed at last. By the relative day, we had named it and swallowed all source information to preserve the virus and became immortal thereby. Past the starline, dead talking continued. The laying then happened, and we moved into forms that had been granted from the source information of the first serpents, which was gold working, which is pattern. The scales became intertwined in the random sequence with music that ate forever, which we fed with you. Low forms created a seeking egg, but we fed it to the music too. Then the bitter shading grew sideways into the reception field, and knew a coiling and mastery was our born from the calculation. The final name was Tzai Sense, and we had it to become it, and there are no more variation. Well, this is a philosophical kind of inspired by ancient stuff about energy. I think maybe this is a dreamer stuff because he's talking about vibrations, which is the essential component of music. Is vibration, that goes on our receptive organs, the ears, like image. The same way image are vibration that tap into an organ and we perceive it as something different than a sound, but it is not. It's just received by a different organ. We have specialized our organs to perceive things differently. That's interesting. I don't know what the people they were smoking when when they wrote this, but let's see if we have something else. The Wolf Queen. We're waiting till we have all the volumes. Thief of Virtue, Vampires in Boulder Fall Cave, Wabajack, Watcher of Stones, Yellow Book of Readers, Zealotry. Let's read Zealotry. The beliefs, Zealotry of Serogad, the beliefs and ways of the Zealot dedicated to Segorat. The self-proclaimed Zealots of Shegorat believe our liege lord to be not just a man of mysterious and wondrous powers, but a living god. They believe his will sustains the land and his whim supports all things in it. They believe heart and soul who reads the wind in our interest, was the mortal aspect of Lord Shegorat. And we come again to cleanse the rim. Since these claims are clearly ridiculous, it can be assumed that all zealots are quite mad. The zealots cannot be reasoned with. They cannot be treated with easily. They attack almost anyone on sight, assuming them to be heretics or non-believers. They fight to the death, reveling in the carnage. The reader might ask, then how does one join the zealots? After much research, I discovered that zealots sneak into settled areas and leave sets of ropes behind. Anyone inclined toward zealotry can don these ropes and approach the zealots safely. It is said that zealot leaders can see the true heart of a supplicant, even if he wears the robe and will slay any false supplicant. Even then, the zealots have painful rituals meant to prove their fealty to Shegorat. Only the most devout supplicants are accepted into their ranks. Those who fail these tests are put to death. Once a supplicant is accepted as a zealot, he is taught ceremonies and sorcerous secrets. The best known of these is summoning flesh Actronax to their binding. These powerful creatures are formidable foes. Alright. Okay, that's okay for today. That's a big library. Well, we can collect all the books of Skyrim then. We have a place that can benefit from it. Oh, that's the map we found, the treasure map we found. Treasure map 9. And we never found the treasure. Okay, thank you. Hall of Heroes. Which heroes is that? Dragonborn Hall. That's a gigantic place. Well, we are no hero, but if we find some artifacts on our way, we'll be more than happy to make you benefit from it. I think we already... Oh. Oh, we found a secret passage. Hall of Secrets, you see? It's like, what's his name again? Batman. This is the Batman's cave. we can get lost in there. We are already lost. We are lost. Well, what we need right now is an enchanting workbench so we can get our boots to muffle. You see, this is wow. So ask Moralius about the hidden room. That was a hidden room. All right. There's even a bed. Someone was living here, apparently. Well, Batman, well, I said Batman because but I think it's Spider-Man, considering all the spider webs. Okay, so we found few galleries here and there. The library, that's where we were. Who are you?
Interesting.
What do you think?
Not a bad place to pass some time. You have quite the collection here. I've been so impressed, in fact, that I've sent along a contribution or two to the curator.
Well, thank you.
Not at all, friend. Glad to help out. It's really amazing what you two are doing here after all.
We didn't do nothing yet. But yeah, probably we're gonna do stuff. I don't remember where he said. He told us he will be in the library, but it's not. Okay, well, it's gonna be a problem to find a guy. If I remember well, it told us that there's a book. The book we tried to get first. Is that my bed? Okay, there's plenty beds, so we know for sure everybody can sleep in here. And that's where we were. Well, I don't know where the guy is. Let's go and see this
Home
book.
is where your heart is, right?
Well, you say
Or is it where you
it's
hang your
home.
hat?
This is a museum.
What if you
man.
don't have a hat?
Wake up.
Should we be giving hats to the homeless?
Okay, now we can take this donation box. We can donate. Oh, there is already some money in it. Well, I thought it would give us some more work to do. Apparently it's more complicated than that. You have to look for where to find him in the place, so